Misery, a game about exploring, survival, and looting. But what happens when you've done all that? When you truly put in so many hours, you firmly reach the end game? What then becomes the goal? I'm Johnny Fuego, and I beg to answer that question, because there's one more underrated and forgotten aspect to this game: the base building. What started off as a simple project has turned into one of my most ambitious goals in gaming. I intend to build a one-of-a-kind bunker, starting with this ginormous underground warehouse. This is my Misery base building journey. Welcome everyone to the first episode of this long-form Misery series, where we build our bunker, and more specifically, our massive, absolutely enormous warehouse. It's going to take a lot of hours, a lot of military crates, a lot of Jimmy Buffets, and a lot of light bulbs. But most importantly, it's going to take a lot of patience. Without further ado, let's get to it. First things first, every time we start this up, we gotta check what date it is. Hope for some apartment complexes, because we need a ton of furniture. This is quite the nice spawn. I mean, at this point in the game, we're gonna need a solar panel. Really wind turbines, but you take what you can get in this game. Access to a well here if you need to fill any water. Nice, 9 plastic, let's go. That is absolutely vital for our solar panels. Light bulb, everything's coming up Millhouse. This is the important stuff we need. At this point, stage in the game, we really don't need a lot of this loot, so we tend to skip it. Some of it's still kind of useful, because large crop will always be a plus. So it makes this spawn really good. You get a wind turbine and a large crop for free, plus all of these resources in these crates. A goated area. As for apartment complexes and furniture, I don't think this map offers plenty of that. We will, however, take advantage of what is given to us. Tons of resource crates. We'd love to see those. Nothing really here for us. Let's keep looking. Ore. I don't see those every day. Not quite as good as getting a deer. There's way more to loot off a deer, but it's a free loot. Why not take it? That's the real moneymaker in this game. I mean, you could be making, tons of bread. That's pretty much most people are doing. They get the achievement, they get 1 million currency, but killing animals and the twins, and looting all those trophies, hides, venison. It's just so much free money. It's like, why even bother picking up, at this point, armor plates and radios and selling junk for 2 to 10 scrap at a time? Selling them for 2 to 10 rubles at a time simply ain't worth it when you can just get so much money off of killing animals and the twins. Bandits have infested this warehouse area. Might be able to find a cool furniture item here and there, so it might be worth our time and our ammo to pick some of these guys off, or we can try to bait them through these little minefields. Let's take care of the range guy first. That's what we're looking for. That's the gold mine. We just struck gold. The Jimmy Buffets. Oh, someone wants one of our Buffets. Today, Zerg. You know how valuable this is? Everybody wants this furniture item. Such a hot commodity. 15 kg. About 8 slots. It's not so much heavy as it is just over cumbersome in the inventory. The amount of slots it takes up is a little annoying, but I've seen way worse. Luckily we have a bunch of these large backpacks and an exoskeleton to haul all this stuff. Otherwise, this whole ordeal would take quite a while. It's getting real dark here now. Real dark. Thankfully we got the flashlight. Some of these warehouses gotta have something interesting. Wheelbarrow, can't loot that. I'm just waiting for the next content update for this game. Huge light bulbs, you love to see it. And a cable, we definitely need more of these cables as well. Something I forgot to mention, not only do we need light bulbs, but cables help as well. I mean, we can craft the cables, but it's always nice to grab them. Because not only do we need lamps, but we need a way to power them, so. Can't bring power to them without the cable. Electronics help too. Good for the solar panel. Free plastic. See a water bottle, you gotta take it. Victor's actually really low on food. Usually I bring a bit. Usually save this for stamina. But it's a pretty useful item all around. Let's do one more sweep here of these little warehouses. I guess they're not really warehouses, more like storage lockers. Oh yes. Vintage game right here. I'd be surprised. I think I've seen like 3 or 4 of these graffiti quote-unquote arts. This is a fairly unique / rare item. You don't really come across this too often. Nice decorative piece. We'll always take it when we see it. Relatively light. Only takes up about 6 slots. How am I supposed to navigate this? Maybe I don't. Play safe and use a med kit. And we just go around. A lot of the stuff you come across now is pretty much obsolete. I mean, gasoline generators and gasoline. We're so far advanced from that, we really don't have a purpose for it. I mean, you could sell the gasoline, but you get chump change for it. It's decent when you start off early game and you're in a pinch, but once you've got the solar panel farm kind of coming out, you don't really need the gasoline anymore. Soda machines are cool. They never have soda in them. You drink water though, so it's a plus, I guess. Aside from getting like a decent amount of radiation, taking like sips of radiated water, there's not really that much of a negative impact. I cannot believe we survived that. Like 1 speck of health left. I was not paying attention. Oh cool, achievement. Use medkit at 1% HP or lower. Yeah, that was definitely intentional, guys. Absolutely intentional. We were literally at 1 HP. That's insane. I mean, like I said, intentional. Well, the good thing of having an overabundance of stuff, including medicine, is, well, you can absolutely just go to town on pills. Hop in them like Dr. House. We're done with that area. Really don't want to eat any more mines. Definitely did a good job pillaging a lot of this stuff. Inventory space is looking a little cooked. Main backpack is full. And our exoskeleton is room for maybe 1 or 2 more. Now it's spelled buffet, but I've never heard anything other than, actual buffet where you eat food. I've never heard anything else called that. So to call this furniture item a buffet just seems weird to me. So I alternate between calling it buffet and buffet. If I were to guess, I would say the buffet is the incorrect way of saying it. which is why I want to keep saying it. Also, it's kind of funny to just say Jimmy Buffett's. It's kind of stuck with me. Look, the swamp. You want good free money? Swamp arms can sell for quite a bit. All you need to do is pump a couple bullets in these guys, or you can miss an entire magazine. Works too. They're attracted to noise, and apparently, so is the bomber. So I don't know. Sometimes in this game, audio and like visuals are glitched. I think because the sheer number of resources and items I have dropped here, like frames drop and audio cues for the bomber plane no longer are consistent. So now I'm pretty much getting stealth bombed. You're supposed to hear a stealth bomber fly above you. Clearly that wasn't the case here. And yeah. Now we're kind of boned. We have to run back and grab our stuff. The sad part is like I never really know if that glitch is active or not until I actually either hear the stealth bomber or get blown up by it, so. Let's go for blessing and a curse. I remember some people on the Steam review leaving comments about how annoying and how loud the bomber plane was flying overhead and killing you. So, I mean, it's nice that we don't have to hear it blasting through our ears. At the same time, it's like I need an audio cue. I can't constantly be staring up in the sky waiting for a bomber plane just to completely wipe me from the face of the earth. One part of now tracing back our steps. If you have a really bad memory like me, sometimes this game can be challenging. When you have to retrace your steps and figure out where you died or the way out. Luckily, there's a compass. You can kind of point to the wall from which your bunker spawns. So that helps, but finding your corpse is a whole other story altogether. Alright, so we found the swamp. And we found our body. Hopefully, made in time. Apparently, your stuff can despawn if you don't come back. Alright, well. Now that everything has returned to me, we'll continue the journey. A slight hiccup. The annoying part about dying is sometimes you're going to have to rebind your keys. I don't remember what I had binded here. I think it went something like this. With that, you always have to have the picture of our wife. Bind it here. Always pull it out and keep the faith. I have no idea if that's supposed to be the character's wife. My theory is it's like Dev's wife or something. But lore-wise, makes sense if it was something, some relation to your character. My wife. Okay. Probably pop off this swamper. See swamper arm right here. These things are supposed to be friendly. They are for the most part. But at random times they will attack you. They say for sure they attack you when it rains. But I've had times where they just randomly attack me for no reason. So I always found it best, since they're pretty weak at this point in my playthrough, that I can just eliminate them on sight. And they don't really group up on you. You can kind of pick them off one by one. Typically if you kill one of them, the group slowly trots over to investigate what happened. They don't really aggro on you, so... I believe the siren is about to go off, but if the audio is glitched for the bomber plane, I'd imagine the audio for the siren would be glitched as well. Not ideal. We'll know from a visual cue if the siren is going off. And that... ooh, large crop. Don't mind if I do. inventory's getting full anyways, probably should head back. Both the old compass. 270 to 300 in that range, in between, will be where the wall is, where your bunker is. Now, I guess that's kind of, how should I put this? Ass backwards to try to do long form content or start a series from late game as opposed to starting from the beginning. Wouldn't it be interesting to have this perspective? I imagine quite a few people are probably doing long form content on this game starting from day one. But as you can see, we have over 255 shinings, and I have well over 100 hours. So yeah, there's our bunker, ready to return. Tell me this field doesn't look like the final boss battle in Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater when you face Big Boss. I wonder if the game took inspiration from that. It clearly took inspiration from Stalker. I'm not really familiar with this series until I started playing this game. But as far as I know, Stalker doesn't have multiplayer, which I think is probably this game's biggest strength or advantage. Well, I haven't really played Stalker. Can't tell if it's a better single player experience in this game, but I don't mind this game. It's pretty fun. Clearly, I have over 100 hours in. Gotta be doing something right for me. The problem is I'm collecting so many items. I'm hoarding so many things that sorting them becomes a pain. And usually I just chuck them all into random military crates. And it's kind of why we're building the warehouse, other than just having a time sink for doing late game stuff and waiting for some updates for the content. It also serves a purpose because we have a lot of loot and we gotta organize it. Just think about all the loot sorting we'd have to do here. Like, even after we finish building this, there's still a lot more to do. Just sorting the items will take God knows how long. Obviously don't want to bore you with the details and the monotony of setting all this up one by one, but I will showcase how it's done, or optimal ways of doing so. Well, we have flour. I guess I can show this off. This is the bread growing up. Yes, we grow bread. Not really, we grow wheat, but turn that wheat into bread and we turn the bread into money. It's not the most ideal setup, but I found it was somewhat unique. The amount of large crops I had to build, the amount of plastic I went through, this could have easily been so many solar panels, but I decided to just stack up a bunch of this. I don't even need to grow, really, these crops. It's kind of a waste, but I started the project and I figured I might as well finish it. Now, any kind of excess large crops I have being devoted to wheat. And there's the siren, so the audio for that has not glitched out. Item placement in this game is very finicky. That's a content update I'd love. If they were to fix item placement, make it easier. A lot of survival games have a kind of snap-on system, or grid-like system. This game, while I do appreciate its free-form system of being able to place it in various locations and angles, also kind of a deterrent. I need a table. I'm gonna grab one from here. Never mind the human bones. It's for display. Alright, let's run back here. Throw this down. Now we have a height advantage. We have the high ground. We should be able to line this up better. We have OCD for placements in this game. It's gonna be tough because you're not gonna get things perfect. You get kind of close, but where's this other large crop? Oh, new day. I'll wait until we just crash this game. We have so many loose items on the ground, placed everywhere, along with like entities and storage lockers. The game is struggling. We get massive frame drops throughout the playthrough. Right now I'm at 3 frames. It's pretty brutal. Try your best to bring it back to normal, but every time a new day starts or you save the game or load from a save, it is getting worse and worse. Okay, now we're back to normal. My theory is that they're constantly reloading and loading assets or entities in your bunker. So every time a new day starts, the map refreshes, including your bunker. So it's loading in these entities all together. So I might want to test this out and actually start a new day in the shop as opposed to the bunker. So the entities completely... I mean, if they load off screen, probably a lot better for your frames. I'll test that theory out the next day. I still have a crop to place, if I could find it. And the crops don't exactly help the warehouse build, but still pretty good nonetheless. Couple of Jimmy Buffetts we got here, and plastic is very important. Get them stocked up on that. Pretty lucky with the RNG. These item crates can give you various resources, including electronics, wood. You can craft, or not really craft, but purchase resources from the shop. Plastic is not one of those resources, so every time you pull electronics or scrap from a resource crate, kind of disappointing, because you could just buy that. And at this stage, we are not hurting for money. Plastic is vital. There's a lot of things that require plastic for the builds, and it requires quite a lot. Solar panel alone will take us 20 plastic just for one. That is pretty nutty, considering I think you get like 9 max stack out of an item crate. So if you get RNG for the plastic and you get max RNG and get 9, you'd still need to get that twice to be anywhere close. You still won't have enough to make the solar panel, so you don't even finish like an entire row of lights with just one solar panel. So we are getting bottlenecked by resources other people who are playing this game probably wouldn't even think about getting bottlenecked from. Imagine if I told you that your plan would stall because you don't have enough light bulbs. Let's just search through here. Clear all of our resources out. We're gonna have to do some kind of item management and storage. Fortunately, that is the name of the game, especially when you are a hoarder like myself. You really don't need a lot of these items at this point, but how can I resist? Free loot. So 3 light bulbs is pretty nice. Usually we come back with like maybe 1, 2 if we're lucky, but 3 is very peak. Burn out some lamps. The Jimmy Buffett. Oh yes, I suppose we should show off how we actually building this thing. So we line them up to here. The walls from left to right and back are the maximum we can build. These are essentially bedrock. If you're a Minecraft enjoyer, we cannot go any farther. Obviously we left some space here for various other projects because I don't want the entire basement to be dedicated to the warehouse, but the majority of it still is. And let's face it, we really need to make this bigger. But yeah, we space these out here to make it as even as possible with a table. We set up above what's on either side. Kind of want to line it up as flush as possible while still keeping this straight. Give a couple taps to the side until you get that little green and you can place it. Ideally, you'd have another one, and you do the same here, but you have more of a reference point now. And if you're lucky, you look at it from this side and they're both flush or somewhat flush, and then you just continue this pattern all the way down here. And yeah, the lighting situation is a whole other conundrum. So you can see here, we have an array of splitters. The nice thing about these cables are that it comes right through these concrete blocks, so you don't really see them. Cable management is a lot easier, and what's ugly is, say, this. So that's pretty cool. The idea here is to put the small military crates. They fit perfectly on each one of these little buffets, and then putting the large crates on top of them to maximize storage. You probably could put another military crate on top of that, but I think it would be overkill and kind of hard to reach, so I think this will suffice. The idea of putting these cloth hangers here at the end of every one is that you could essentially put an item, and it kind of acts like a shelf, but also kind of displays what exactly is being stored. So for example, if you put vodka here, you could put, let's say, every type of beverage you can find in this game along this row. And do the same on every single warehouse aisle here. Now all we need is a forklift. You notice a lot of these furniture items and dwarfs here, well, this is soon to be my Amazon task force. Waiting for the day we can actually give them commands they'll follow, or commands to actually have you store items for you. Similar to like the copper golem in Minecraft. If there was a way to get these dwarves to auto sort your items, that would be huge. One can dream for that update. Alright. That's enough yapping. We need more buffets. We do have a lot of swamper arms. And that boar trophy. They take up quite a bit of space and are kind of heavy. We should definitely offload those. Show you the shop. This is the big money maker. Sell your stuff to the hunter. A raw swamper arm. 60 rubles. The value. Boar trophy. Only 38 rubles. So maybe not the greatest. Don't really want to go out of your way to hunt that when you can just grab a deer trophy. It drops a deer skin and 2 venison. A way better value for selling. You can't really pass up killing anything. Gives you money, so we have a decent amount of space. We can go furniture hunting again. Although a big portion of the day completely gone away, so we gotta make this quick. Thanks for watching. Watch me live at twitch.tv/JohnnyFuego, and check out my episodes and VODs from this series right here on YouTube.